Peace and blessings and a whole lot of love. God is idea. And here with a story time. I was self-reflecting today. And just was thinking about, my poor choices and men. And how that came to be. And, I came from a single parent household. Didn't have a stepfather. So I had no real male role model that taught me how a man's supposed to treat me. So I ended up in 2 marriages in which I really shouldn't have been in. No disrespect to my ex-husband and or my estranged husband. I do have a healthy relationship with my ex-husband because he has healed and I have healed, and we get along fine. We do share 3 children together. He learned his lessons, and I learned some lessons. But my estranged husband, who has still undenied you, and I think he has some really issues up here that he refused to acknowledge. So if he doesn't acknowledge his trauma and the shit that he's been through that made him not a great husband nor a father, then he can never heal. But anyway, 2 years prior to me getting pregnant, I had a dream. And in this dream, I had God pulling me up this way and the devil. So in the dream, I was like this. And in the dream, the Creator was speaking to me. And I'm going to call it Creator and the devil because at the time I had a dream, I was a Christian. I'm no longer a Christian. Then I became Muslim. Then I became Muslim, and then I just started the spiritual journey. So religion is really not my thing. But anyway, in his dream, as I said, the Creator was pulling me one way and the devil was pulling me another. And in the dream was about me, that I was going to get pregnant and that I was going to end up a single parent. And in the dream, that I was going to also have a girl. And in the dream, I had promised the Creator that I was raise my daughter differently from my first daughter. And I'll talk about that another time because we typically raise our children the same way our parents raised us. Okay. I don't ever remember being instilled in me self-love, self-respect, value, worth, those things. So I did not instill that. I did not instill that in my first daughter, but I instilled it in my second daughter. So this is what I'm talking about with the difference in parenting. So I went on with my life after I had this dream, and 2 years later, I met a guy that I ended up marrying, and that I ended up getting pregnant by. This was a man that I should not have married. This was a man I definitely should not have had a baby by, because the dream actually played out in real life. I ended up a single parent. There's a lot of things about him that was not right. I knew it wasn't right, but as I later learned, because I wasn't loving myself, I was looking for love in a man. I don't even think at the time that I met him, I wasn't looking to have kids by him. I wasn't looking to get married. Those things just happened to come about. It just happened to come about. We get married, and when I got pregnant, I already said that I wasn't going to get no abortion because I had made a vow to keep my child no matter what. And I'm here to talk about this because women have to start taking accountability and responsibility for the children they lay down and have by these men that are not ready to be fathers or that are not good fathers. Because the men that we're laying down do not know thyself and do not love thyself. Because when a man loves himself, he's not going to be reckless with his penis. He's going to value every seed that he spit out from his penis, which means he will protect himself and will not take a risk in impregnating every woman that he lay down with. So this man evidently does not value his penis because he's a cheater, and he will sleep with any and everything that opens their legs to him. And yes, I end up a single parent. And I learned a lot of valuable lessons. And my mother did tell me, she said, this last child is going to keep you on your tiptoe. And I knew that I had to heal because I did not want to make the same mistake again by getting involved with the wrong man. Now, the first man that I married, he was an excellent provider. And that was one of the reasons why I chose to stay with him after he knocked me up upside my head before we actually got married. He was a great provider. Me and his children never want for nothing. And then the second one, well, I don't know what I saw in him besides looks. Because when I met him, he didn't have a job. I learned that he had a criminal history. He also had a 1-year-old child. So I had no business with him. But again, later on in life, I learned that I wasn't loving myself. That I didn't know my worth. I didn't value my worth. Because had I had those things that I have now, I wouldn't have got involved with him. But I had to go through those things to learn lessons so I can teach my daughter, my baby girl. And so that I can grow and evolve. So sometimes we go through things in life because we need to grow. We need to learn. And if you don't learn lessons from those negative experiences, you will continue to repeat them until you learn. So now I'm in a healthy relationship. I'm in a relationship with a man that has 1 child, that sees his child every weekend. I'm in a relationship with a man that calls and checks on me every single day. I'm in a relationship with a man that I can't boss around. I'm in a relationship that I can't do what the hell I want to do. And I love that. Like I asked him, could I wear a bikini to the beach, a 2-piece? He was like, hell no. I didn't get mad and say, who the hell is you telling me what to do? I respect him because he respects me. And it feels good to be in a relationship with a man who doesn't put his hands on you. That wants to talk and discuss the conflict. That told me that if my daughter needs anything, that she can come to him. That respects my whole household. That respects my children. And it took, I've been dating him we're in a relationship. I'm not going to say dating. We're in a relationship. And I waited for him to say that we was in a relationship. I wasn't saying we were in a relationship. When my daughter asked me what was up with me and him, my oldest daughter, I went to him and asked him. Not only did he speak out his mind that you're off the market, but he's demonstrating that through his actions. He's transparent. He's not sneaking. He lets me know his whereabouts because he knows that I've been cheated on. So he's very transparent. And it feels good, but it took a long time for me to believe in him. And I had to learn that not every man that you're going to meet is going to dog you out. Not every man that you meet is going to cheat on you or lie to you or hate you. But I did learn when you start loving yourself and value your worth, you will begin to attract better quality men. You still might attract the low life, but you also will begin to attract better quality men because now you are admitting that love. You are giving off that you are operating from a place of love. You are giving off that you are loving yourself. You are giving off that you value yourself because he cannot come and tell me A, B, and C, but his action don't coincide with the words that he speaks out of his mouth. He can't tell me A, B, and C, and the actions don't coincide, and he's not consistent, because then I'm going to question that. And the other thing I had thought about was, while women are putting these men on child support, when you are the one that's laying down with the man that can't take care of the child, you are the one that laying down with a married man thinking that he's going to take care of your baby, that he loves you when he didn't even love his damn wife. He didn't even think about how his action was going to affect his child. But yet this next woman lays down with this man that's married, and she thinks he's going to love her and treat her better than his wife, when he had to lie on his wife to get you in bed. But because you weren't loving yourself, you fell for it. And you're in the same predicament with a man that's still legally married, that you had to put on child support, that the welfare had to put on child support. And that's another thing, this child support shit. I'm legally married to this man, and yes, I did thought about, okay, I'm going to have to get the courts involved. But then I was like, wait, hold up. You had a dream that you was going to be a single parent. You didn't listen to your dream. So you end up a single parent. Why are you putting this man on child support? Take accountability and responsibility for what you did when you chose to lay down with that man. And I withdrew my petition, and I've been taking care of my daughter by myself for the last 6 years with limited amount of child support, with limited amount of financial support, mental support, spiritual support, emotional support. She doesn't get none of that from him. So I'm here to tell you, as a woman, number one, you are given intuition. Never ignore intuition when it comes to a man. Number two, if you have a prophetic dream, listen to that dream. Pay careful attention to the details of that dream, because that dream may just become your reality. So don't never ignore it. The other thing I want to tell you, learn to love yourself and stop looking for love in a man. What type of woman are you to lay down with a man and have a baby by a man on purpose? To trap him or to try to get money out of him? What that says about you as a woman. Or being jealous of the children he already has. If you stepped into the role of a side chick with a man that's legally married, why are you upset if he try to reconcile with that woman? There's all sorts of things. Women are the creators of life. If a lot of women learn to stick together, a man won't be able to cheat. Women need to stop thinking about themselves. Stop looking for love in a man. And stop bringing these children into the world when you can't even provide for them. Because my attitude was this. And it's going to always be this. I'm a parent. I'm a mother. If I lay down and open up my legs to an undeserving man and I get pregnant and I give birth to the child, then it's my responsibility to take care of that child and raise that child to the best of my ability. And you should be learning from that lesson so you don't go ahead and repeat it. I never wanted to have a child more than one father. I have to be by my first husband. I have the last child by my second husband. And now I've learned so much about myself because of the things I have been through. I learned a lot of things about myself. But the most important thing that I learned was to love myself and value my worth. Because when you do that, you're not going to allow yourself to be mistreated. You're not going to fall for the games that these low-life men run. And not all men are low lives. There are some great men out here. But in order to meet them, you need to heal first. Heal all those daddy issues. Because if you're laying down with a married man, you got some daddy issues. I'm sorry to tell you. If you laying down with a man that's no good for you and you get pregnant by him, you got some issues that you need to work on. Peace, blessings, and a whole lot of love. I hope that my story time helps someone who may be going through what I've been through. Stop looking for love in a man. Stop having babies by any man and every man that you lay down with. If you want to be a thought, you want to be promiscuous or whatever you choose to call it, protect yourself. But stop thinking that if you have a baby by a man, he's going to always be there. Because if he have healing that needs to be done, he can't be there for you nor that child. And he will continue to break you. And you will continue to be broken until you decide to say enough is enough. God is our dear.